Hello guys, welcome back to another video on Prime Tennis Channel. Today we're going to be looking at the one-handed backhand. This isn't really my forte, I'm not an expert on it, but I'm just going to tell you what I think, quick overview, and we're just going to look at the one-handed backhand, pros and cons, technique, things of this nature, and I'll try and explain it the best I can. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Alright, and let's get into it. Okay. So with the one-handed backhand, it's a beautiful shot. It's a great shot. You see people like Roger Federer, Dimitrov, Tsitsipas, they use the one-handed backhand so well. And I think personally, it's a better weapon than the two-handed backhand. I think it's better offensively, but I don't think it's better overall. But, there are pros and cons to it. I guess first things first, we'll go into the technique. I think backhand's pretty simple. You do your take back, right? You typically want to have your non-dominant hand holding the choke point of the racket. For your grip, you want to be in like a Western grip, or a Western grip, or continental. I know it's very dependent on just what's comfortable for you. For me, I prefer a Western grip. So you want to pull it back with your non-dominant hand, and you basically want to swing it forward with your dominant hand. As you're swinging forward, it'll drop to around your waist or below your waist. And then it'll pull forward, and you raise your arm up to give it top spin and bring the ball back in with your arm facing up and then out, and then the racket head will be facing towards this end. It requires a lot of mobility and flexibility, but you'll get the hang of it. Here you'll see it again, the take back, and then swing through forward, and then you extend the arms back. It's a very forceful shot. It's not easy to hit because you're hitting I think this is more a better representation of the backhand because you're hitting it literally like with the back of your hand. I think that's a lot harder to do than to just put your non-dominant hand on the racket and swing like that. But if you can do it this way, like I said, it's amazing. It's great offensive capabilities. It's great with angles. If you can finesse it the way someone like Federer does, you can hit the craziest shots. I think it's great when you're moving to your backhand side and you need to pull a shot off, like a down the line or a crazy winner. I've seen so many shots like that because when you're using a two-handed backhand, typically you're gonna need to slice when you're in defensive situations like that because you don't have the reach of a one-handed backhand. But with a one-handed backhand, you can just reach and let it rip. That's why I said it's better offensively, but you don't have the same amount of control that you do on the backhand, sometimes even power, and the margin of error, I think it's a lot lower for the one-handed backhand than it is for the two-handed backhand. It's just a much harder shot. If you're just starting tennis out, you can try it, but I recommend sticking with the two-handed backhand. And if you play tennis for a while and think you need to change your backhand, this could be a change that works for you. For me, it comes very naturally, but I still don't use it because that's just how much I think the two-handed backhand is better than the one-handed backhand. It's a very difficult shot to learn. So that's just my reasoning. But all these guys, they have incredible backhands. especially Federer. I don't know how he does it. One thing that I'm seeing is the way they kind of expand or like tighten up the shoulder blades at the end of their shot. That's just how much force they need. So this position here, where both arms are going backwards, I think that's to give it more of like extra oomph, almost like a catapult. Like in this position, he starts pulling both arms back. After he releases this arm, both arms pull back like a kind of explosive motion. They explode in opposite directions. And then he swings, hits the ball, and they continue to go all the way to the back. If you look here at Federer, he does it really well. Hits the ball, and they both explode backwards. And I mean, this is crazy. Me, I'm not a very flexible or mobile guy. That would hurt me, honestly. The coordination, I think you need a lot more coordination, hand and eye coordination to hit this shot. Cool fact is that one-handed backhands, people who use it, they tend to have their dominant arm be a lot larger than their non-dominant arm, just because they're always using that arm, backhand, forehand, serve, slice, volley, overhead, every single shot. See that in the back there that I was talking about before? Like, his racket is almost touching his hand here. Dimitrov, it's insane the way he's mobile like that, and I think that's what allows him to be so, great with his backhand. Stan actually has one of my favorite backhands. He's just so smooth with it. It really is a beautiful shot if you can master it. I think that, yeah, it's a beautiful shot if you master it. If you're trying to impress people, it's definitely the shot to go. But let's compare it to the two-handed backhand. Yeah, one-handed backhand. So just backhands. Okay. Let's find a good video here. Yeah, I should have specified tennis. Backhand slow motion. Okay, let's see this one. I just like the two-handed backhand so much more. It's so much more simple, so much easier to do. And like, you look at all of these players, it's all the same, There's not much to it. You just take it back, you swing forward, you follow through. It's very similar to a forehand. With the one-handed backhand, it's so much more different. It's unlike any other shot besides like the slice. It's basically a slice but with the opposite spin. And even the slice, I think it's one of the harder shots because you just have to be so precise with your racket movement. You can't have the angle be too open or too closed, and you can't be going too fast or too slow with your swing. And I think it's very similar with the one-handed backhand, but with the two-handed backhand, it's so simple. You just take back and you let it rip forward like you would on a forehand. Obviously, I think it's even more simple than a forehand because you don't have as large of a take back. You don't have as much of a rotation. There's a lot less arm movement involved, less turning and twisting. But I think forehand is still better just because it comes more naturally because it's your dominant side. Medvedev doesn't look natural on any side. But it's effective. It works, the two-handed backhand. I think it's just better. That's why most of the pros use it. Most coaches recommend that you stick with it, because unless you're a natural talent like Roger, one-handed backhand it hardly works. You have to train it so much, so much in order to make it be at a high level, work at a high level. So backhand, one-handed backhand is good, but sorry, excuse me. If you try it, if you're not good at it, if it doesn't work, just stick to two-handed backhand because it'll be a lot easier to learn, a lot easier to get the hang of, and a lot easier to get value out of, which in the end, that's the main goal, right? To get value out of your shots, to have shots that'll help you win a point, win a game, win a set, win a match. And a sloppy one-handed backhand will not do that. But yeah, try both. See which one works better for you, and let me know in the comments if you guys agree or disagree with what I'm saying. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.